The Pentagon, completed in 1943 during the height of World War II, is not only the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense but also a fortress of secrets. With its 5 concentric rings, endless corridors, and more than 6.5 million square feet of space, it is the largest office building in the world. To the public, it appears as a vast maze of offices, cafeterias, and bustling hallways filled with military personnel and civilian workers. But beneath the surface, hidden within its reinforced concrete, lies another world, one that is invisible to most who pass through its halls. Behind locked steel doors and under restricted security levels are secret rooms, command centers, and secure vaults that very few will ever see. These chambers are designed for crisis management, intelligence gathering, and wartime operations, all while remaining sealed from the eyes of outsiders. The Pentagon is not just a workplace, it is a self-contained city with layers of security. And within those layers exist areas so classified that even many who work inside are unaware of them. The mystery of these hidden rooms has fueled speculation for decades, from war rooms and nuclear command posts to underground tunnels and data vaults. For those who step through these doors, secrecy becomes more than policy, it becomes survival. At the very heart of these hidden chambers lies the National Military Command Center, NMCC, often described as the Pentagon's brain. This windowless, heavily reinforced facility operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ensuring that America's military leadership remains in constant communication with every global command post. Inside, glowing wall-sized maps track the movements of fleets, aircraft, and forces across the globe. Secure telephones, encrypted satellite feeds, and red emergency lines link directly to the White House and nuclear launch sites. In the event of war, terrorist attack, or nuclear strike, the NMCC is where the president and top generals would coordinate the nation's response in real time. Access is restricted by multiple security clearances, biometric scans, and escorts, making it one of the most tightly guarded spaces in the entire building. To the thousands of Pentagon employees who walk the hallways above, the NMCC is invisible, hidden behind heavy steel blast doors that blend into ordinary walls. Yet behind those doors, every major crisis of the last half-century has been monitored, from the Cuban Missile Crisis to the September 11th attacks. Staff working here undergo rigorous screening, and their actions are logged with absolute precision. To enter this space is to step into a world where seconds can decide the fate of millions, where the atmosphere is thick with urgency and secrecy. While the Pentagon may seem to outsiders like an endless maze of offices, this hidden chamber is proof that some of its most vital work is done in rooms the public will never see. Beneath the Pentagon's 5 rings lies a world few outside the highest levels of government have ever glimpsed. The building is not only vast above ground, but also extends into hidden basements and sublevels that house some of its most secret operations. Stories have circulated for decades about underground escape tunnels leading from the Pentagon to undisclosed locations in Washington, D.C., designed to evacuate top officials in the event of a nuclear strike. While much of this remains classified, it is known that certain corridors and sealed chambers exist, reinforced to withstand immense blasts. These rooms are lined with thick concrete walls, soundproof doors, and layers of security designed to keep out not just intruders but also electronic eavesdropping. During the Cold War, hidden spaces inside the Pentagon were equipped with encrypted teletype machines, early warning radar feeds, and direct links to nuclear submarines. They formed part of America's shield in the event of a doomsday scenario. Some of these areas are so restricted that even senior Pentagon staff do not know their exact functions, and many are marked only by plain doors with no labels, blending into the endless corridors like any other office. Rumors persist of secret vaults storing highly classified war plans, or rooms where intelligence officers analyze data too sensitive for normal networks. For those few granted access, these underground levels are not just offices, they are hardened lifelines, built to ensure continuity of government no matter the crisis. The Pentagon's sublevels stand as silent proof that the building is not simply a headquarters, but a fortress designed to survive the unimaginable, far below the Pentagon's surface. The secure basement levels form a labyrinth of communication hubs, data vaults, and reinforced operations rooms that keep America's military machine running even in the gravest crises. These areas are not marked on ordinary building maps, and reaching them often requires descending through unmarked stairwells or passing through steel blast doors guarded around the clock. Workers who have spoken anonymously describe long, windowless corridors lined with thick cables, humming with the constant vibration of servers and power systems. Some doors are unnumbered, with only electronic locks and warning signs hinting at their importance. Clearance badges alone are not always enough. Entry can require multiple layers of authorization and, in many cases, an armed escort. Within these hidden chambers, secure communications flow continuously, linking the Pentagon to command centers, intelligence networks, and overseas bases. In times of heightened alert, staff can seal these levels, isolating them from the rest of the building and creating a self-contained fortress, designed to function independently if disaster strikes above ground. It is in these depths that classified briefings are transmitted, cyber defenses are coordinated, and emergency protocols are rehearsed. For ordinary Pentagon employees, these basements are off-limits, just another part of the building's unseen skeleton. But for those few who work within, the atmosphere is unlike anywhere else. Tense, quiet, and always prepared for the moment when every second counts. While visitors walking the Pentagon's public hallways see only offices and conference rooms, the truth lies below, where the hidden nerve fibers of American defense pulse in secret, keeping the nation's most guarded operations alive beneath layers of concrete and silence. The Cold War transformed the Pentagon's secret spaces into even more hardened and technologically advanced centers of power. With the threat of nuclear war looming daily, hidden chambers were fortified to withstand not only conventional attacks, but also the shockwaves of potential atomic blasts. Special rooms were equipped with cutting-edge technology of the era, secure teletype machines, encrypted communication lines, and direct feeds from early warning radar systems scanning the skies for Soviet bombers or missiles. Some spaces operated as war rooms, where classified war plans were drafted, revised, and stored in vaults behind layers of steel. Others functioned as crisis monitoring hubs, designed to link the Pentagon with the White House Situation Room and Strategic Air Command within seconds. Rumors also spread of hidden bunkers connected to the Pentagon through underground corridors, forming part of a wider network of continuity of government facilities. While not all of these stories can be verified, declassified documents confirm that the Pentagon invested heavily in underground infrastructure during this period. Engineers created blast-resistant rooms, redundant communication hubs, and secured command posts that could continue operating even if Washington, D.C. was attacked. To those working inside, the Cold War years meant constant drills, tense readiness, and the knowledge that the secret rooms around them might one day decide the fate of the world. Even today, many of these facilities remain sealed and classified, their exact functions still shrouded in mystery. For outsiders, the Pentagon's visible 5 rings tell only part of the story. The hidden Cold War chambers, filled with technology and fear, represented the darker, invisible core of America's defense during decades of nuclear standoff. The hidden rooms of the Pentagon were not just built for theory, they have been tested during moments of real crisis. None more so than September 11, 2001, when American Airlines Flight 77 struck the western side of the Pentagon. Chaos erupted as smoke and fire tore through the building's outer rings. Yet even as thousands of workers evacuated, the National Military Command Center and other fortified rooms deep within remained operational. Behind sealed blast doors, commanders and defense officials continued their work, linking instantly with the White House, NORAD, and global military bases. In these secure spaces, information flowed minute by minute. The hijacked planes, the attack on New York, and the uncertainty about what might come next. Accounts later revealed that, while the outer hallways filled with smoke, inside the NMCC the atmosphere was tense but controlled. Officers focused on maintaining communication and preparing for the possibility of further strikes. The design of these secret chambers, reinforced walls, independent power systems, and airtight seals allowed them to function even as the building burned above. For the public, images of smoke billowing from the Pentagon told one story, but within the hidden rooms another story unfolded. America's defense leadership operating in real time, ensuring continuity of command under unimaginable pressure. That day proved the purpose of these secret facilities, showing they were not relics of Cold War paranoia but vital lifelines in the modern era of unpredictable threats. From nuclear fears to terrorism, the Pentagon's hidden chambers have become silent witnesses to the nation's darkest hours. Built not for show but for survival. Today, the Pentagon's hidden chambers are more advanced than ever, upgraded to meet the challenges of cyber warfare, global terrorism, and space-based threat. Deep inside secure levels are operations centers dedicated not just to military strikes, but to defending America's digital infrastructure. These cyber command hubs hum with rows of encrypted servers, glowing screens, and analysts monitoring streams of data in real time. Within these rooms, specialists track hacking attempts from foreign adversaries, safeguard satellite networks, and protect the communications that link troops on the battlefield. Other secret spaces serve as surveillance hubs, coordinating intelligence gathered from drones, satellites, and covert operatives around the globe. Unlike the war rooms of the Cold War, where paper maps and phones dominated, today's hidden facilities are filled with digital displays, AI-assisted threat analysis, and secure fiber optic links that connect instantly to allies worldwide. Some of these areas operate around the clock, staffed by rotating teams who live in a world of classified information, cut off from the outside even as history unfolds just beyond their walls. Access is so restricted that only a handful of top officials ever step inside, and even then under strict escort. These secret rooms represent the cutting edge of 21st century defense, where battles are no longer fought only on land, sea, and air, but in cyberspace and outer space. For the thousands of employees who fill the Pentagon's offices each day, these high-tech command centers remain unseen, their presence hinted at only by reinforced doors and warning signs. Yet, in these hidden chambers, the nation's future is quietly guarded every second, proving that the Pentagon's greatest strength may not be in what is visible, but in what remains carefully concealed. Secrecy inside the Pentagon's hidden chambers is enforced with a rigor few workplaces on Earth can match. Gaining access requires not only top-level security clearances, but also multiple layers of identity verification, from biometric scans to personal escorts who ensure no unauthorized movement. Many doors lead to rooms within rooms, each requiring new codes and permissions, creating a fortress within a fortress. Workers here live under constant scrutiny, their backgrounds investigated in depth, their communications monitored, and even their family ties reviewed to eliminate risk. The weight of such secrecy takes a human toll. Staff cannot share details of their work with spouses, friends, or even colleagues outside their section. Conversations are carefully measured, and slips of the tongue can end careers. For some, the isolation is the hardest part. Long hours in windowless rooms, cut off from the natural rhythm of day and night, bound by the pressure of knowing that one mistake could jeopardize national security. Yet despite the burden, many see their roles as an honor, a duty carried out in silence. They know they are custodians of information that could alter the course of history. This constant balance between vigilance and sacrifice defines the lives of those working inside the Pentagon's secret chambers. It is not the glamour of open military service or the recognition of high command, but a quieter form of service where secrecy is both shield and prison. For outsiders, the Pentagon may symbolize power and bureaucracy, but for the select few behind those reinforced doors, it is a life lived in shadows, one of dedication, pressure, and silence. For decades, the Pentagon's hidden spaces have fueled rumors and conspiracy theories, blurring the line between fact and speculation. Some claim that underground tunnels connect the building to the White House, Capitol Hill, or even secret bunkers buried miles away, ready to whisk leaders to safety in times of nuclear attack. Others whisper about sealed vaults where alien technology or classified aircraft designs are studied, tying the Pentagon to the same law as Area 51. While there is little evidence for the wildest claims, the building's vast size and its culture of secrecy make such stories believable to many. Journalists who have attempted to probe its mysteries are often met with silence, no comment answers, or carefully worded denials that only deepen the intrigue. Even within the Pentagon, many employees admit they have walked past unmarked steel doors for years without knowing what lies behind them. The absence of clear answers has created fertile ground for myths, rooms hidden behind false walls, surveillance chambers monitoring both allies and enemies, or vast underground levels that stretch far deeper than official blueprints admit. Some conspiracy theories insist that the Pentagon holds secret weapons projects or data vaults beyond public knowledge, a continuation of Cold War black projects. While most of these stories are likely exaggerations, the reality is that some of the Pentagon's most sensitive spaces remain classified even today, ensuring that the truth stays hidden. Whether myth or fact, these stories have cemented the Pentagon's reputation not just as a military headquarters, but as a fortress of secrets. The very idea of secret rooms is enough to spark imagination, ensuring that mystery will always cling to its endless corridors. The Pentagon walks a delicate line between transparency and secrecy, revealing just enough to maintain public trust while keeping its deepest operations locked away. Over the years, certain details have been declassified, offering glimpses into how the building's secret rooms function. For example, the existence of the National Military Command Center is no longer hidden, though much of its technology and procedures remain classified. Similarly, some Cold War projects once sealed behind reinforced doors have been partially revealed through declassified documents, showing how communication systems linked the Pentagon to missile silos, submarines, and radar outposts. Yet these disclosures are carefully chosen, stripped of sensitive details that could compromise modern defense. Many rooms remain off-limits, their purpose marked only by blank doors and restricted area signs. Even maps of the Pentagon distributed to visitors avoid showing certain sections, ensuring that the public's view of the building is incomplete. Officials argue that secrecy is necessary for national security, a shield against espionage and sabotage in an era where threats evolve rapidly. Critics, however, question whether too much secrecy undermines accountability, allowing hidden projects to grow without oversight. The tension between what the public knows and what remains buried defines much of the Pentagon's image. Every disclosure raises as many questions as it answers, feeding speculation that the most important chambers are still concealed. For ordinary Americans, the Pentagon is a symbol of strength. For those who study it closely, it is also a symbol of mystery. The selective release of information ensures that the building retains its aura of secrecy, keeping the truth about its most sensitive rooms firmly behind locked doors, known only to the few cleared to walk its most hidden corridors. The true heart of the Pentagon's secret rooms is not the technology or the steel walls, but the people who serve within them. These men and women live lives defined by silence, bound by oaths that prevent them from sharing the nature of their work even with their closest family members. Their daily routines often take place in windowless, climate-controlled rooms where clocks and artificial lighting replace natural rhythms. Many arrive early and leave late, their badges granting them access to areas most Pentagon employees will never see. Their work may involve monitoring global crises, analyzing intelligence streams, or rehearsing emergency protocols that might never be used but must always be ready. The burden of secrecy weighs heavily. Conversations are guarded, friendships limited, and stress ever present. Mistakes are not tolerated. A single error could have consequences reaching far beyond the walls of the building. Yet alongside the pressure is a deep sense of duty. Many describe their roles as a calling, a chance to protect the nation in ways few will ever understand. Their contributions are invisible to the public, hidden behind locked doors, yet they form the backbone of America's defense posture. The sacrifices are profound: missed birthdays, long absences, and the inability to share the triumphs or struggles of their work with loved ones. Still, for those who endure the strain, there is pride in knowing they stand on the front lines of secrecy, guardians of the nation's most sensitive information. To walk the hidden corridors of the Pentagon is to step into a shadow world, and those who serve there carry that shadow with them long after they leave its walls. The Pentagon's secret rooms have become more than just physical spaces. They are symbols of power, mystery, and the unseen machinery of national defense. For decades, their existence has captured the public imagination, inspiring books, documentaries, and conspiracy theories that blur fact and fiction. The reality is both less glamorous and more profound. These hidden chambers ensure that, in times of crisis, the United States can respond instantly, maintaining continuity of command when every second matters. They represent a legacy of vigilance that began in World War II, hardened during the Cold War, and continues into the age of cyber warfare. Visitors touring the Pentagon's public areas glimpse only the surface of this vast fortress. The real decisions, the most urgent conversations, and the most sensitive plans happen far from their eyes. Yet the secrecy itself adds to the building's mystique, turning plain corridors and unmarked doors into objects of endless speculation. The Pentagon's architecture tells a story of layers: outer rings open to routine business, inner sanctums closed to nearly all. This layering mirrors the nation's balance of transparency and security, democracy and defense. For the public, the secret rooms embody both reassurance and unease. Reassurance that America is prepared for any threat, and unease at the thought of what hidden powers might be controlled there. In the end, the Pentagon's mysteries endure because they are designed to. Its secret rooms will always remain sealed to most, visible only as shadows in the imagination. But their presence reminds us that behind every symbol of power lies a deeper world unseen, one where silence, secrecy, and strategy shape the destiny of nations.